something by the Dust Bunnies. I mean, that is the only logical explanation. They got kidnapped again.
Again. Oh yeah, they got kidnapped to clean, and then they got now they're a prisoner of war.
So, we had another D&D session on Saturday, Sky and I,
Oh
and it's
no.
become a running joke that Sky just keeps getting kidnapped.
Poor Sky.
Like, the mermaids try to kidnap them, and then they were, like, kidnapped again by a dragonoid
Mhm.
shopkeeper who put them, like, he just, like, picked them up randomly and just turned them into a living mannequin.
What is your game?
I don't know. I sometimes don't know. Like, I fully admit that my characters are kind of just like their own people that just live in my brain.
I
And they do what they want, regardless of what I want or what I say. I've come to terms with it.
I I feel like I'd say I have that problem. I know last session for me D&D wise, it was hard to get all my players because one got caught up with work, understandable, so they have to drop out not because of it, that kind of sucks, but I understand.
Yeah.
And like they
That's,
all I'm sorry.
you go on. I'm just gonna comment like that sucks,
Yeah.
pretty much.
He was my chrono wizard, so I don't like a bit of me is like upset, like because I feel like he was having fun there, but deep down in me is like, oh, thank God, so I don't have to deal with a chrono magic anymore.
When I first started this campaign, I told you that originally I was trying to get 5 players. I put the ad on like the D&D Beyond Discord server, and several people were interested, only for one of them to remain.
Wow.
Like, I, I I I still think that it's better to just kidnap your friends for the D&D session
Mhm.
sometimes,
Yeah.
because my experience with that the D&D Beyond Discord was players wouldn't read the description,
Hmm.
and then they'd act surprised, like, hey, this is the one I signed up for, I'm leaving. Or they would be toxic players.
Hmm.
So there's not really good balance,
Yeah.
I felt, in that server. So I kind of just made it so I knew the people's schedules.
Hmm.
I know Void's schedule.
Yeah.
I know Sky's schedule, kind of. So, yeah.
Yeah. I know the last one, the Rise of the Saturn Titans, what I nicknamed it. I got that one up and running only to do D&D with one of my friends because she wants to try it, but she's too scared to like go to a local game store to try it out there.
Yeah.
And I get that, but like there's only so
I'm
much
just more.
you can do like persuading them into like at least
Yeah.
online, because if you're not there in person, like they can't lean on you for everything.
I I've always, like, don't get me wrong, I felt joy when being a player, but I've dealt with control issues.
Yeah.
Like, I want to control the world, and I want to, control the characters.
Hmm.
And then I'm like, yeah, I like being a player, but I'm also the person that wants to write the story.
Yeah.
And the moment I have a character that I've created, whether or not it's a D&D character or not.
Mhm.
They kind of start tending to take on a life of their own outside of my control, and bada bing, bada boom, I now have another character to deal with.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I might as well put all of them to use in D&D and my books.
Yeah, I I know I gotta write some stuff up with my homebrew world with vampires and giants.
Skyrim doomed me. It was all its fault. It's all my dad's fault, honestly.
Your
So
dad.
the moment I could hold a video game controller, my dad put one in my hands. Like I was like 6, and we would have like this game called Ultimate Alliance. It was like a Marvel game
Hmm. I think I'm familiar
where
with that.
you are you familiar?
I think
Okay,
so.
cool. That I won't explain in great detail. But imagine little 6-year-old child barely can fit the controller in their hands, somehow still able to navigate the game. That's not for 6-year-old children, but and then he doubled down and gave me a DS,
Hmm.
and then gave me another DS and another. I have 3 DSs. Well, I
Why?
had only 2 work now. Actually, 3 work now because I have 2 3DSs, 1 DSi, and I had a normal DS, but it broke
Uh,
after years of good service. And then he got me an Xbox. And then one day, I came downstairs. Skyrim had just come out, and my dad used to do this thing where he would give me the controller while he went and like did something. So he would constantly do that, and he made the mistake of giving me the controller on the Skyrim
hmm.
because for the next 2 hours, little me was gone. They left. They were now in the world of Skyrim, and you could not pry them away. So eventually, my dad got me Skyrim for my own, so I would stop stealing his. And that was the moment that he never saw me again. That is the moment where the introvert became a really, really, really introvert that barely left their room. There were other reasons why I didn't leave my room, but I mean, why would I go out in the boring, non-dragon filled world when I could go to Skyrim? I mean, or I could spend my years playing Pokemon. There's a reason why I have a 2+ year amount of time playing Skyrim.
Your father
I'm not kidding.
basically like this next child. You're becoming a gamer with me. Oh dear God! I created a monster.
He did. But I hated gaming around him because he would always critique me.
Hmm.
Like when I first played Dragon Age, too young to be playing Dragon Age, by the way, when I first started playing Dragon Age.
Yeah.
But I was playing as a mage, and it's Dragon Age Origins. And if you play as a mage, you go to the Fade,
Hmm.
and you encounter a sloth demon who asks you a bunch of riddles. And I would be thinking about the riddles. He's like, "Come on, it's so easy. Come on, figure it out." And I'm like, this is my playthrough. Leave me alone. I'll play how I want."
Papa, I'm very stupid. You didn't. You just put a control in my hand. You didn't teach me how to do basic riddles.
Again, I was like, I forget when Dragon Age Origins came out, but I feel like I was like 8 or 9,
Hmm.
and he was expecting me to figure out these riddles within like 5 seconds, and I'm like, no, 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 no. I did become really good at riddles, but
Yeah.
not like instantly.
Oh no. He didn't train you to be terrible at riddles. You're supposed to get them first try.
Now, one thing that weirdly enough in all video games I was really good at was anything with bows and arrows. I'm a sniper apparently.
I suck at those types of ones.
Like I can't do trick shots mainly because I've never even tried.
Yeah.
Because I'm a stealth archer, I'm not gonna run over and like shoot people. I'm gonna sit in the little bush, wait for them to come into a good angle, shoot them with a paralysis arrow, and then shoot them crucifixion style.
I can imagine all of your Skyrim runs are the exact same.
Oh no. So three characters that I have that have become characters in my book. First was, I want to say Vinna was the first because she's actually one of the oldest characters I have.
Mhm.
She was a vampire,
Of course.
and now she's in my world. She is the most powerful vampire in existence.
Mhm.
Hooray! Then there was Ruby, Ruby of the Wilds. She's the werewolf, and I've recently replayed her with mods, and it was so fun because I made her have 5 followers, and she turned all of them into werewolves. So now I have a pack of werewolves charging into fights.
Oh my god.
Yay!
That's insane.
Yay! And then I have Rivalia, who's a wood elf, who is my archer.
I love his like very powerful vampire, cult of werewolves, and a wood elf with a bow.
Technically, I've canoned her as the time traveler because she is also the character I play in Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just the time traveler that teleports to any like important event in history
Mm-hmm.
and just is reborn and it's like, ah shoot, here we go again.
I I know for my lack of better terms D&D, but it's mainly for like any tabletop RPG game that isn't sci-fi. I need to I'm gonna work on some designs like indicating like north south like the directions north south east and west. Because why not for some reason?
I can't say spoilers for my campaign
Mhm.
because, well, Sky is one of my players, and I don't know if they rewatch streams. If you are rewatching this stream, hi, Sky, friend. I'm so sorry for what is to come.
Get out of
And
here!
by that, I mean, I have no remorse whatsoever, and I hope it emotionally hurts you in the worst ways possible.
What the
I love
fuck?
to.
Oh my god. Oh, also, thank you for Eclipse for the follow. I forgot to say that earlier.
Oh, you got a new follower?
Uh,
Hi, new follower.
yeah.
Don't mind us. We're talking about how we are going to be very loving, merciful DMs for our
I
players.
mean, it was like 4 hours ago, but I still wanted to do it. I still like.
Yeah, but we're nice to our players, right?
I recreated Amber Frost choke slamming scene. Well, I didn't recreate that. I dropped the sun on my players last session.
In my last campaign, I threatened them with the total utter annihilation of reality in of itself, and they were solely responsible. I killed one of my players' 2 sons. Basically, they had kids.
Mhm.
I killed their sons. They get to keep the daughters.
that,
Um, the other player also lost their son and their daughter.
mhm,
Lost both kids, but honestly, it was their fault.
mhm. I that reminds me.
Oh, and I brutally mutilated another character, but it's fine.
I know with Rise of the Sad Titans, now I'm doing the Wrath of Yama. I pitched the Wrath of Yama to my old D&D players, like, hey, we've all gone on the rails with somehow within 9 sessions. I feel like you're not caring about the plot. Here's a new one that I'm a little passionate more about. Want to do that? It's like, no, we don't want to do that because I told him like, hey, it'll be a jump in time, so like some of your family members will die, and the party benefactor did not like that because her whole thing was like, I need to see my family now, and like force them off the plot because that's all she cared about. But I digress.
That's that's the exact same thing that the toxic player that I had to do with last campaign wanted. They wouldn't. They basically made me destroy their family's characters because his wife wasn't allowed to be stronger than him, even though she canonically was. She was weak, she was defenseless, she was a frail, like, damsel in distress for him to rescue.
Mhm.
She was not. She could actively kill him if she really wanted to. And he didn't care about his daughter, he only cared about his son.
Mhm.
In other words, he was sexist, but he never admitted that he was sexist.
I feel like I have a friend like that, honestly, and I kind of like not only sexist but also very anti like LGBT.
There.
Like,
Listen, I know I have a lot of gay characters, but it's because the majority of my characters are based off of real friends, real relationships, and lo and behold, a lot of my relationships are with people who are fruity.
well, that's the
They're fruity
best.
pebbles.
I've learned to act gay for my homies because they're all apparently very. They're either raging pansexual or they're raging bisexual.
Listen, my parents are straight. Like I've talked with my mom, and I basically told her like because she has never thought about like had any queer thoughts ever, and
Mhm.
she's told me that. And told her, there you go. That is how you know you are straight, and you are purely straight. No questioning whatsoever. But the moment that you start thinking about kissing someone or doing something with someone that is either the same gender as you or complicated,
Mhm.
yeah, that's your sign that maybe you should do some soul searching.
Hey, it ain't gay to kiss your homies goodnight with open tongue kisses. It's not
look,
gay.
look, it's, I think, like,
I
there's
might
like a
be in
difference.
denial, but it ain't gay.
Gay.
Denial is a river in Egypt. I could be gay. Only
I went back and forth on my sexuality for the longest time, mainly because I I didn't understand what I was supposed to be feeling. Everyone would like describe it to me and then be like, yes, but because describing emotions when you don't know if you are feeling the same emotion is really hard. What made me realize what my sexuality was Jaden freaking animations. Because when they started talking about being ROAs, I'm like, wait, wait,
wait a minute.
wait a
I can
darn
relate to
second.
this.
Like, because I went through my entire high school years. Because I went to a performing arts school.
Mhm.
We had boys, but it was mostly girls,
Of course.
and everyone was LGBTQ plus. Pretty much everyone. Like, if you weren't, they were an ally. Like teachers,
Mhm.
staff, ally, queer. It was a rainbow school
Yeah.
in every way in which form.
Mhm.
So I went there and I started thinking, okay, well, the girls are kind of pretty, guys are kind of pretty. I guess I'm bi. But then I started like actually asking myself the questions like, okay, would you want to be in a relationship with that person?
Mhm.
Not really. Would you want to hold hands with that person? No. Would you want the person to touch you in the slightest? No.
You say that a goose.
I realize I don't like being touched. Like, I think kissing is weird. I don't
Mhm.
understand where the appeal is. I
Yeah.
have never understood where the appeal is.
Mhm.
Still don't understand it. But somehow, this is the best part. I like romance novels and romance games.
Mhm.
But not for the reason why I should.
Well, they're
I like
fictional.
them
That's
because
like
they're
half the
funny.
appeal.
I like them because they're funny to me. Like, don't worry, I'll save you. Insert like stereotypical girl name here.
Mhm.
No, don't. I can save myself. Fight breaks out. They they have their like kiss moment in the rain or something to that matter, and suddenly they're in love.
Yeah.
What?
The
I've
thing.
been playing um these Otome games,
Mhm.
and this the series is like the Ikemen series, so Ikemen Vampire, Ikemen Sengoku, Ikemen Revolution, Ikemen Prince, Ikemen Villains. And Ikemen Villain, Ikemen Prince, and Ikemen Sengoku. The protagonists are all pretty much the same character. And they're like, oh, I don't think there's like a justification for war. Violence is not the answer. And I'm sitting over here like with the villains, like, guys, I don't think you understand the definition of villains. Because if you are killing people who are objectively evil and stealing people's freedoms and trafficking people, and you kill them, that's not evil. That is you. If your motive is to actively help people, congratulations. And congratulations, you're a vigilante.
Oh,
You're a vigilante.
I
You're Batman.
I love My Hero Academia Vigilante, except with Pop Step. I don't like
I
her
haven't
outfit.
seen it yet. I
It's not.
haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers. I kind of wait for hypes of things to die
Mhm,
down because I want to avoid spoilers so I
mhm.
can watch it without anyone else's biases.
That's fair.
But I've seen Popset's outfit and I'm like, why does that outfit look so uncomfortable?
Uh, from my understanding, she's like also 14,
I just
so it makes me feel
like I'm
uncomfortable.
creeped out by Yara Rozu's outfit.
Mhm,
But I get it. In Japanese anime, it, women are typically sexualized.
yeah, and
The
younger is
thing is,
typically like looking younger is like what socially acceptable,
yeah,
more
the thing
Eastern.
is, what people don't seem to realize is that a lot of anime men are also sexualized. Like,
Oh
if
yeah,
you really
very much
watch
so sometimes.
anime, if you watch it, why do you think some animators spend so much time drawing these guys' abs?
I
Why do you think they're doing that?
I love Delicious in Dungeons like fan service. It was so funny.
It's like you guys do realize they're objectively trying to make the characters sexy, so you'll buy merch of them, right?
Yeah.
That is why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. It's weird to me when it's like it's a child though. It's like that's uh,
For my stories, I try not to sexualize my characters, but instead, what ends up happening is they sexualize themselves. Because I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to create the goddess of that kind of love
mhm,
without her intentionally going out of her way to be conventionally attractive.
mhm. I I feel like we're on like off topic, so I will DM you like what he says though, because like I also want someone else's opinion on this, but I I was in an RP server, I still am, and I brought in my own homebrew god named Allah. I now changed it because I didn't realize Allah is based off an actual god and like all yeah. Turns out
Yeah.
same thing as with Yama. So that's an actual god, so I'm
So
gonna have to worry about that later
for
though.
dots, if you're looking for like a name for it,
Mm-hmm.
just start making noises. Random noises. And whatever starts not like those. Like vowel noises and consonants. Like
Mm-hmm.
put vowels and consonants together
Yeah.
and find out what works. That's how some of my gods got their names because I just couldn't decide what their name should be, so I just yeah.
But uh
But some can be like attuned to words. So think about what that god symbolizes
mhm,
and think about synonyms for that words and then combine and then alter.
yeah. But I
There you go.
we slapped an E on her name though, so now it's pronounced a little different. But she was the goddess of wealth and like love. I think I put like lust in there at one point. And someone who like knows nothing about like my gods and shit was trying to argue with me on like what they were about. It's like the fuck? Like
Oh my gosh, I hate when people do that. Because when I say a character is morally complex,
mhm,
they are morally complex. Like, it happened in this campaign too. They weren't mean about it, but someone has once tried to convince me that one of my gods is evil, even though no, it's far more complicated than that. He might be the god of pain and tormented souls, but he is also the god of karma and justice.
mhm.
He is a god of tormented souls because he shelters the tormented souls and gets justice for them and brings pain to those who are heartless monsters.
Yeah. I
Is he sassy and sarcastic about it? Yeah. Yeah, he is.
I I kind of work on like the gods like on all but like one, and that's like the purpose of them is like they kill other gods because they want to recreate the world in their own image, and the only reason to do
They're
that is like, okay, I gotta remove my competition now. I don't care if like you're a minor god, you are competition. You're being removed from the census now. They're like
oh
morbidly gray, I would say. Minor, like none of them are notoriously evil, but some people take their actions and they twist it.
yeah. I think if my current player who's misunderstanding the character Jonah
Mm-hmm.
saw Jonah's backstory and like had all the information about him, I think he would understand, yeah, no, this is a character that is both morally great and what we are actually witnessing is far more tragic than just him being a jerk.
Because
He is losing his mind. He's like actively losing control of his own body to a monster inside of him.
mhm,
And the only person who can stop it is not there.
yeah, I
He left his friends and basically family because he wanted to protect them.
yeah, I know. I'm going a little stereotypical with some of my races here because until I'm able to like sit down like rework a lot of them, I'm just like okay, we're going with typical fantasy shit. Um, my elven god's like he's like protector of everything, so of course the high elves take that in the worst way possible. It's like we're better than all of you because our god's the protector of you all, so we're the protectors of all of you, and you will listen to us. If not,
Ah, I
you are not.
love those. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was just
Like
commenting on how
if
that
and
sounds.
if you do not listen to us, you will feel our divine wrath, because we are blessed with the protector of everyone, for we are the protectors. Their royal family got overturned, friends executed, and now drows run the Feywild in the Elven's place.
Elves in my series are kind of just elves.
Yeah.
They're just a race. They don't have any like intense history. However, I like to think they're basically normal people with
Mhm.
just a greater affinity for magic.
Yeah.
But vampires
I need to work on my
is
vampires. Oh.
I've made my vampire species is a bit different.
Hmm.
So there's a I like tier charts.
Hmm.
So there's a power hierarchy
Yeah, makes
of
sense.
for pretty much anything. So vampires, the highest level is Vanica, and Vanica vampires are essentially more like vampire gods,
Yeah.
and Vina is the queen of all of them.
Hmm.
The Myric are the vampires where they're not gonna burn in the sunlight, but they're gonna be weaker in the sunlight, and they have to drink human blood, whatever.
Yeah.
And then so long. Vanillic vampires are the very stereotypical vampires that get killed extremely easily.
Hmm.
Stab in the heart, dead. Sunlight, dead. Holy water, dead.
Hmm.
Garlic, dead.
Stereotypical vampire killing, dead.
Dead. Well, Vanica, if you're gonna fight a Vanica, you might want to be a higher tier character yourself. Otherwise, you're probably gonna die.
I Ironically, my first vampire made for my world was named after one of my someone in my first party. So now it's like kind of ironic in a way that she's now this blood sucking creature. When she
I will go on.
when she decided to leave my like whole D&D thing when I was fucking sleeping, not even uttering a word. And when I have tried to reach out to like rebuild the bridges, has like blocked me, will not communicate with me at all.
I just I don't want to make opponents that are like so overpowered that the party can't ever do anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, in the last campaign that I had, I felt like I had no choice because the toxic player had basically made everything about him, had made me give him overpowered weapons.
Mm-hmm.
He basically put all the spotlight on him, stealing it from all the other players. He had to handle every situation, even though some of the quests were tailored specifically for the other players. But
Mm-hmm.
he would take over that player's arc, and it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating.
I felt that way with my player King. I like the one who like kind of derailed everything and told me is like you can always nerf them down so we can handle them. It's like that ain't happening, King. But no, whatever.
Yeah, because like it's you're supposed to be a team, not
Mm-hmm.
a main character, and these are my sidekicks.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're all the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the point. Even now that I've turned it into a book, like my last campaign, and had to, I changed the characters' names and their
Mm-hmm.
origins, but my feeling and my hatred towards the characters still stood. So I gave them interesting fates.
Oh
Specifically, one of them, the one that like the toxic player played that caused the most problems, while I was more lenient with the other character that he played.
yeah.
But after all of that, I felt after I had put that character through the ringer and destroyed them,
Mm-hmm.
the only logical thing was to now move past my anger and give that character a shot at redemption. So, hooray, they can get redeemed now. But it came at a cost of their wings, their left eye,
Mm-hmm.
their family, their status, pretty much their entire existence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that so King because I'll use the usernames on Discord because like all the whole thing is like up on someone else's channel, so like it's there's no point of hiding it, in my opinion. Because
Yeah.
I have like said like multiple times I am the DM for the unfortunates. Like when I was pitching my own D&D campaign back up, I wanted to do more than the Saturday one. Um, they had like such a weird, in my opinion, weird like issue. They came from like a big like business family in a country that like capitalism's like coming up. So like basic human rights are like point right now. Early stage industrial revolution type of shit. The children yearn to work in the factories like they did in the mines.
The kids yearn for the mines. I
Uh,
told my mom that meme recently and she laughed.
but like their father like did slavery. He has it and everything. It's like but C was against it, like C like fought against it and everything. And it seemed like only her was like only her character was against it. And now I'm looking back to it, like you were the main noble of the group. Nobody else knew there. Like there's two other nobles. They didn't know they were nobility, regardless of the situation. You were raised in a very class system where you did not have to suffer. I don't looking back to it as a at least as a player, I would not understand why your character would be against slavery when it benefacted you and gave you the life that you have.
I, yeah, sometimes players don't really think their characters through to the point where things would make sense.
I
But
noticed that with my last party, yeah.
I I think the more annoying part is when they won't let you help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tried with a lot of the toxic players, because there wasn't just one in the last campaign, there were several. And I remember spending hours on this character row with the player.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just couldn't get his act together,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. And I spent hours helping him. Multiple days. Multiple, like, months. And they just never took my advice. And then when they left, it was somehow my fault.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the player Phil. I try to help them so often, but then they just lashed out angrily and left. And it's things like that where I'm like, do people just not want to actually play D&D, and they want to just play an open world video game where they can actually do whatever they want with no consequences to anyone
That
because it's a single player game?
that felt like my
Or do they want to
last
actually
season
be functional?
because
Oh,
I was heavily pushing them back to the plot, like to the point in where a noble threatened every one of their lives if they disobeyed her, and they still like fought tooth and nail with her. And like if like they were like what if we attacked her when she's not looking, like, and the king is like, well, I'm nobility too. It's like it could cause a fight between nations because I'm nobility from another land. It's like the noble tailor is like, I'm not scared of Eros. Eros is a bitch ass nation. Sit your ass down. Or like blaming her for like the death of her, like her. How do I can't think of the word, but people she ruled over her servants and all that. Because like, well, maybe if you like, how's it our fault? Like we didn't tell the guards about these cannibals, they wouldn't have listened and whatnot. Like if you did tell them and they didn't listen, yeah, you can use that as actual evidence. You did not though. So
yeah.
her people died because of you all were too focused on we need to go to a new nation because one player wants to.
In the current campaign, the character that pretty much I had to kill off
Yeah.
because the player left mid session.
Mm-hmm.
They basically, like I said, they wanted to play a chaotically evil character, even
Mm-hmm.
though in my general interview with these players before we even started, I mentioned no chaotically evil characters. But then they were like, no, I want to play chaotically evil. And
Mm-hmm.
while yes, you can make it work with one chaotic evil character, for the story, it would not work at all.
Unless they're like
So I said,
panning away from evil.
no. And things were constantly explained to them because they kept getting confused. They didn't understand what was happening. They didn't understand certain characters. They kept trying to pick a fight with Jonah, who is basically right now acting as the party's babysitter. Is my excuse for if they get into like a too like risky boss fight or something and they're losing, Jonah will save them.
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But they just kept trying to fight Jonah. Even though I basically flat out told them that Jonah could kill each and every one of them with one hit.
Yeah.
But no, she kept trying to fight Jonah,
Mm-hmm.
her character.
Yeah.
But and Void, my one of my other players who's been with me for a while, they were in the last campaign as well and dealt with the toxic player.
Mm-hmm.
They're over here trying to convince them not to do it. And this character is like trying to be all like, oh, I'm the kind one, I'm the nice one. Proceeds to call the character that is in a tense relationship with Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
Jonah basically, whilst under the presence of the monster inside of him, and makes Camden into a death slave. So now Camden's enslaved to Jonah,
Yeah.
and Jonah, the actual person's like, oh shoot, I don't want this.
Yeah.
But Camden's like, nope, I'm your problem now. But she basically calls Camden Jonah's pet, demeaning him,
Mm-hmm.
then also calls Voight's character known as Livia Jonah's pet because she's trying to stop Arwen, the character, from attacking Jonah and basically getting them all killed.
Yeah.
So she was basically just antagonizing the entire party, never understanding what was going on, misunderstanding every like plot point.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we explained it constantly to them, they just weren't getting it. And then mid session they leave. And their character was the current core of the current quest.
Mm-hmm.
So them leaving really, really messed with the campaign. So we had to take a 20-minute break, and then I decided, okay, I'm just gonna fix this in the only way I know how.
Mm-hmm.
Killing off the character.
Oh, since one of my current D&D party players is here, Max. I know you're here.
Hi,
None of
Max.
this like involves you or your party. You guys are pretty good right now. We're just fixing on the current issue, which is just over talking. But I feel like that's gonna like eventually fix itself in due time now. So don't feel like this is targeted to any of you guys. This is my last party. But
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so I'll talk about one player who was like probably like bored. He might eventually get like main character syndrome, honestly. This is like my blunt opinion from my last campaign. And I thought he was going to stay in this one. He left as soon as like I broke the news, made a YouTube video, put it up saying he's sorry, the unfortunates are canceled. I felt like he was trying to like say like I wasn't a good DM, but he didn't talk more about me. But I feel like he was trying to blame it on me as well, of like why things weren't going well. With his own cup of like issues.
That's the downside of being a DM sometimes. Like, if things go wrong, the players start blaming the DM.
Yeah.
Like, if the story is not where they want, it's DM's fault. If their characters aren't getting the stuff that they want, it's DM's fault.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I don't claim to be the best Blackfoot guy. I don't claim to be the perfect DM because
Mm-hmm.
I really hate D&D combat.
Same.
I think it takes up 90% of the D&D session, so I've changed it to where it's more fluid and where I've mixed puzzles into the fights. So like they have to actually think about their fights instead of just hitting it over and over until it dies.
Mm-hmm.
And I know not everyone's going to like that, and that's fine. I also take like a great invested interest in everyone's characters because I want their characters to have the best possible experience in the world. And by that, I mean I get to torture them as much as I want with the consent of the player
Mm-hmm.
in order to develop them into beautiful character butterflies that I will then pin to my wall.
Of course.
And I feel like not everyone is suited for that style of like D&D.
Yeah.
Because some people are more combat focused, and that's perfectly fine. It's just finding the right DM and right party for you. It's not always the DM's fault in conclusion. Like, you also have to put in effort as a player to try to understand the world that the DM has created.
The worst
Try
part
to understand the characters.
the worst part with Ruben in this case, because this is his name. Shout out to Ruben a Sandwich in a mixed bag sort of way. I DM'd him saying like basically trying to say like without blood out being honest, because I feel like he would run to the other players and like unlike my one other player who I know like, hey, can you just keep this between you and me, like how I feel? And like, yeah, I can do that because we're friends and shit. She was able to do that. Ruben, I feel like I could not be like blunt had like hints like, how would you feel if I removed X, Y, and Z? Like not it was mainly X at that point, being red at that point. And like trying to explain to him, I'm also a player, and he like understood none of this of what I'm saying. And when I was sat down to him with a one-on-one, 100% felt like I was not being listened to with him. It's like, you should apologize to Reds. Like, I'm not going to apologize to Red first and foremost because I feel like I was being disrespected and whatnot. And like 100% looking back at it, it felt like maybe because I'm being a little biased here, I'm trying not to be though. It was like he was putting the blame on me for like why Red felt upset and not trying to understand like, hey, I was also upset with you reaction to everything.
Yeah, for Isaac, I'm just gonna start calling him by his name.
Mm-hmm.
The toxic player from my last campaign, like the biggest toxic player,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna call him the biggest because he was like all the players that left
Mm-hmm.
admitted to me part of the reason that they left was because of Isaac.
Yeah.
Because of his stealing the show, everything's about me, I'm overpowered, I'm stronger than all of you
Mm-hmm.
guys are all weaklings compared to me, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
He disrespected my characters, disrespected my world, disrespected everyone else's characters. He did not respect anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, his in my books, the character that I have, the both characters that I have based off of him, well, his characters.
Yeah.
So Isaac became Onweir, Blue became Demo.
Yeah.
So Onweir decided to disrespect the Achilleans.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest mistake you can make. Do not ever disrespect the Achilleans unless you want Achille, the most powerful of the Omni kids, second only in power to the actual Omnis.
Omni kids. I know why that's word's funny to me.
Yeah, Omnis. It's a fun word. That's why I call them the Omnis. It's a fun word. That's
True.
that's literally the only reason I just call them Omnis because it's a funny word.
Yeah.
But like the actual player disrespected the Achilleans so many times and disrespected Achille himself.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was trying to keep them from leaving, because I was desperate for them to stay because they'd been emotionally manipulating me the entire time,
Mm-hmm.
I even like nerfed Akil,
Mm-hmm.
which devastates me to this day. But I got even. So in the book, Onweir disrespects the Achilleans, and Akil, having had enough,
Mm-hmm.
summons Onweir to his office for a chat.
Mm-hmm.
A lovely little chat. So point about Akil. Akil's not able to touch anyone because his power will immediately start killing them.
Yeah.
So he wears gloves. So Onweir comes in all in a pissy fit, demanding that the Achillean that brought him to Akil be punished because he disrespected him, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he demands satisfaction, blah, blah, blah. And Akil, while just slowly taking off one of his gloves and sliding off from his desk because Akil sits on top of his desk instead of in the chair like a normal person.
Yeah.
Akil just slowly takes off his glove while getting off of his desk and says, I don't do things for your satisfaction, Onweir. And he basically asks, so what did you say about my Achilleans? Onweir doesn't say the specific insult.
Yeah.
So Akil grabs him by the arm with his ungloved hand, starts burning Onweir's arm off, then drives the point further home by releasing the arm before any permanent damage is left, then immediately ripping Onweir's eye out, pretty much,
Oh my.
with his ungloved hand. Meaning, half of Onweir's face is now pretty much looks like it's been burned by acid,
Mm-hmm.
and his eye is gone. Yeah, that's how Keel feels about people insulting his people. And even that was merciful for Akil. That's mercy for Akil standards. Meanwhile, Demo's character, Blue,
Mm-hmm.
basically wanted to be an Achillean because they were so super powerful, and Isaac, the player, wanted power. So he had Blue, now Demo, start training with the Achilleans, which is not how the Achilleans work. You are chosen to be an Achillean.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just say, I want to be one, and start training. No. No.
Yeah.
But Akil humors her, and he allows her to. the condition that if she fails, Demo will go to Engion, basically my world's equivalent of hell.
Mhm.
And she sees no problem with this because she's underestimating Akil and his ruthlessness and the rest of the Achilleans' ruthlessness. And she just goes along being disrespectful to everyone until the Achilleans are like, yeah, we've given you enough chances. Alright, time for a little taste of what Engion is to get you motivated. Because pain is a good motivator. Spoiler alert, Demo is regretting her life choices. Badly.
Of course.
She is badly regretting her life choices.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I dealt with my feelings towards the toxic player.
Um,
Because I know they will never apologize and they will never see the error of their ways. Although I hope they eventually do, because if they don't, they're not gonna
they're gonna be kicked down a
have
lot of
any
tables
friends in real life.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna have a family, because when I say that the guy was sexist, he basically would say his sister hates him because he has a sister.
Oh,
And
did you
I forget what he did, but there was one story he told about his sister being a B word. When you really thought about it, it's like, dude, no, you are a complete a-hole for what you just did to your sister.
Yeah.
And he wonders why his family doesn't like him. You're doing it to yourself. You were disrespecting your sister. Get over yourself.
Oh,
You're sexist.
did you read that comment I sent to our group chat?
Yeah.
Like, what's your stance on that? Because like it feels like he emphasizes that a word in that sentence whenever he talks about this.
Yeah. I sense the underlying homophobia
Yeah.
and transphobia.
Mm-hmm. It,
Like I can smell it from that text.
yeah, and I'm not gonna say names because I want this guy to be better because he's like 19, 18 years old, give or take. He's that dumb at the age still. Before you realize,
Yeah.
oh, the shit I've done is like really stupid. I should know. I was a dumb idiot right wing conservative for a while, who's like made stupid jokes like my agenda's an attack Apache helicopter and that dumb shit, and said and done horrific things, very again like very hateful things to terrible people, like to good people, I should say, not terrible people, to good people. Like I'm very open about that, so like no one can use that against me. It's like, oh yeah, I was terrible.
I I'm open of that I have some very unpopular opinions
Mm-hmm.
about certain things that would definitely get me canceled.
Yeah.
But namely, I think nowadays everyone is at fault for how toxic the internet is.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's not just conservatives, it's liberals too. Like if you're gonna
It's
go around and
liberals. Like
say
there's a difference.
there is none to me. I find if you are going to be an extremist, you are an extremist. I don't think there's this black and white to these things. I think anyone of any race can be racist. Racism isn't about one specific race, it is how you treat other people of different races.
Yeah, I'm a goddamn
Meaning
cracker.
any race can be racist. When I transferred from my school in New Mexico, and New Mexico, we are primarily Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you live in New Mexico
Oh
and you're
my
born and raised in New
god.
Mexico, the chances are you are Hispanic. I am
Hispanic
Hispanic.
people
I
are
am
so racist to each other.
Oh, we are so racist to each other. But
Same with
it's
the
not in a
black
form of like
community.
it's not racism in the form of like we're actually like doing it to be mean. It's more of like like my mom and I. Greatest example. We were at a drive-through, and the person was Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were all Hispanic. Like it was a restaurant run pretty much by Latinas and Latinos.
Yeah.
And she was like very fast talking, like she was like just trying to get us on our way.
Mhm.
And when my mom and I were like pulling out, we were like, mom just like turns to me and smiles, like, man, Latinas are so mean, so rude. Meanwhile, us both secretly Hispanic. And we're not saying that she's actually sassy and rude.
Mhm.
What we're actually saying is people think she's rude, but what she's really trying to do is she's just trying to get you out of there because she has a long line behind us
Mhm.
and she is being super efficient at her job.
Mhm.
She's just skipping all the pleasantries because they're wasting time.
I know.
That is what they are doing. They are not trying to be mean to you. They are trying to be efficient, and it's nothing against you. It's just a cultural thing.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Virginia to attend my last year of public high school,
Mhm.
at a public high school, I had been at a performing arts school for my entire like middle school, high school life.
Give or take. Yeah.
You want to know who's the most racist towards me? Like they basically said I couldn't be Hispanic because I'm white,
The
like I have white
crackers.
skin. No,
Oh.
it was actually the African American kids.
They.
They
Oh.
were the most racist.
They're racist. Like with skin colors. So I can
But
say this
you
because I got some
call
black friends though.
I also have some black friends, but I don't think it makes it okay to say it just because you have black friends.
Oh, I'm not
I
going to say
think
the
it's
N word. I was just
okay
like saying like were
because
their experiences.
yeah, I think the experiences are fine because it's your experience. And for me, all the other African Americans in New Mexico that I met, like I've met people of different cultures actually from different countries, actually from all over the world.
Mhm.
And they don't act like that. So I found this culture shock on the East Coast with these different races
Mhm.
because it wasn't just like one race that I found like fundamentally unique from the same kind of race
Mhm.
that I met in New Mexico. But they, if
Maybe it's
you
just.
commented on how they were being little jerks
Mhm.
and they were basically treating everyone like trash, they would play the race card on you. Like you're calling them out. Oh, oh, is it because I'm this race? Oh, is it because I'm that race?
Mhm.
No, it's because your attitude sucks and you are actively harassing other students.
So I don't mean to
We
cut.
don't care about your race.
I don't mean to.
I could care less what race they are.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I know with my one friend, he has like problems like his black friends and homies. If he dates someone of like a lighter skin color, even if she's like I say like mostly white, like he's a bit like betraying their race and their kind and shit like that. And so when I was working at my rehab center, it started like your statements, like oh they were playing the race card and like yada yada yada, and they just like my supervisor and this like person who did drugs, fucking druggy. Like I'm not gonna be nice to him because he's a racist piece of shit, and I mean that. Like he was being racist. He was like throwing hard stereotypes out, and it's like maybe like a whole like maybe they shouldn't be like killing each other and like bullshit like that. Just being really like as racist as he could be for a bit before I yelled his name and told him like we are here to serve. Shut your mouth. Start serving.
Like, honestly,
Like
I feel like it's gone to a point where white passing people, even if you're not actually like purely white, they feel like they have to walk on eggshells around people. I'm not saying
mhm.
that white people are oppressed. I'm saying they are in their own way. Every race has their own form of oppression. It is just some are fundamentally different than others. Like
Yo.
let's be clear. Let's not like sugarcoat it. Every country, every bit of human culture has at one point been oppressed. That is in the nature of humans. Like at one point, it was circling religion. At another point, it's circling around like skin color.
Give or take, yeah.
Also, slavery did not start with white people. Slavery started with everyone,
At a point
regardless of skin color.
I think
Slavery existed everywhere.
I think before I'm gonna throw Christianity on the bus before like we move away this topic because it's gonna get controversial real quick, and I ain't gonna deal with that. So, because
Oh
eventually, I feel
no, it
like you and
is.
me are
I
gonna
feel like
be butting heads too much.
I
Uh
don't I don't really butt heads with other people's
oh yeah,
opinions.
but
Everyone has their own opinion, and I
mm,
don't think mine are objectively right, and I don't think yours are objectively wrong.
yeah,
I don't. I have
the
had conversations with very conservative people and still have had the ability to keep a normal conversation.
I I just tell him in my head, I want you to fucking die. You were worthless piece of shit. But that's unrelated. Um, because I was watching a video on this, and well, maybe video, TikTok, potato, and how slavery. Before I want to say Christianity and like that type of like weird extremism, how it happened with that religion. It was like a prisoner of war type of situation where you're a prisoner of war. Now you belong to us, and this is your life now,
Yeah, that's
being
pretty much what
underpaid.
slavery was.
And now it turned into a someone believing like, oh, because of who you are, or like in like African Americans' cases, your skin tone, this is your purpose in life because a book said so.
I know, right? Which is ironic because when you really think about it, skin tones are really just adaptation for where you are from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, people who are born closer to the equator where it's very hot and very, like, intense sunlight, yeah, they're going to develop tan skin. In Africa, there is a reason why they generated the types of bodies and the types of facial structures they did. It is called adaptation. It's science.
Oh,
it's not.
don't use
It's not some.
don't use fancy science here. We don't believe it.
It's. I don't know,
But
but I will say I
mhm,
do. I have very big issues with religion,
fair.
like all of them.
Mhm.
The very concept entirely.
Oh, I know Nordic paganism. We got issues with Nazis and shit in here. Like they try to gatekeep it so hard.
People try to gatekeep all forms of paganism. So I am a Hellenistic pagan,
Mhm.
but people will try to gatekeep religion, especially pagan religions.
It's so stupid.
Christianity and Catholicism have become extremely toxic.
Mm.
People use um, the worship of Allah in order to justify genocide all the time, much like they do with Christianity.
Yo, I'm so sick of seeing like we need to start crusades up again type of post.
Uh, I feel like I don't know if you've noticed, but on TikTok, I feel like there's this random spike of people commenting like
Oh,
Jesus loves
oh,
you,
those
died on
weird
the cross.
bots. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what the heck? This video is this is a Rick and Morty edit. Why
Yeah.
is there Jesus on this?
Okay, I do want to like stay like turn away from this like these topics only because the VTuber community has a problem with like white nationalists. I mean that in every single word I mean. Like I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. They believe in like the what's that stupid theory of like oh white people are being replaced and shit. Like they 100% believe into that shit. And it's gotten like it's so disgusting and I love trolling them and being cunts to them. But I don't want to attract that crowd because I will tell every single one of them to go kill themselves. Because at
I
some
don't recommend doing that.
oh
I mean, I
yeah.
don't recommend telling anyone to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Mostly because empathy is apparently a good thing. And also because then Hades has to deal with them. I don't want to do that to Hades.
Oh that's fair.
I don't want to do that to my poor little death god.
They'll just be on the other side of the river Styx in Greek mythology. Like yeah, I'm still gonna call it mythology
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
just sounds
but
cooler than anything else.
then Charon has to deal with them.
True. But
I just we gotta be looking out for our death gods. Come on.
true.
That is the primary reason we do it.
That's the reason why you do empathy. I do it for a different reason. If I believe that they're willing to
Empathy.
change, I will give them empathy. If I don't feel like they're gonna change, my view is like you deserve terrible things brought upon you, because
I
that's
mean,
the
why do you
only
think Akil
time.
exists?
What?
Akil, the god of karma and justice in my system, is basically also the god of torture and hell. So
True.
that should be your clear sign of how I view people who refuse to change. Either change, or you're going to be torn apart into fiery pits of whatever underworld you find yourself in until you do.
Back to D&D and like tabletop
Hey, thanks.
RPGs, because we can't go back to politics. Or I'm gonna get very heated up quickly, and I'm not drunk enough for that. Um. So DM
For
to
me,
D.
politics. One last comment on politics. Yes, politics. Would you want the red pill? Would you want the blue pill? Neither, because I don't do drugs. Thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my god. I know one person might see this and they're gonna get upset that I laughed at that because I told them they were a revolting person after issues, but we're not gonna get back into that. So DM to DM here.
That's the
So I remember like this was my campaign. Like this is back in like Rise of the Saturn Titans. Whole party punishments over what something one person did. I
They
feel like
should
they have
defend
a
itself.
place, but they have to be planned accordingly. How do you feel about them?
I feel like I'm always hesitant nowadays to do a party-wide punishment
Mm-hmm.
because, well, my experience with the toxic player was like, if I had that logic when I had the toxic player,
Mm-hmm.
they would be constantly getting punished for that one player's actions.
True.
And group punishments often breed resentment. So you could use it if you really want your other players to hate that one other player that you've been trying to get rid of. Yeah, do it. It's incredibly manipulative, but
Oh yeah.
but
Um,
it works.
because I did that before, and I looking back to it, I shouldn't have done it in that situation because it was just one person who broke the deal, and my model is like based off. Well, not this model specifically, like, but the newer reference I'm getting from Honeybee is like the Demon Lord deals and like all that fun jazz. One person broke their deal with another, like broke their deal with someone, so they were brought to him, and he did like a whole party punishment. I feel like with gods and like those types of things, it shouldn't be a full party punishment, but with nobles and kings, 100%.
Yeah. Uh, at some point, there's a balance. Like, if it's just this one player's actions, then it's that only their consequence, nothing more.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if it's like the quest and they all actively failed the quest because they didn't stop that one active player and they didn't try to work, they just went along with it,
Mm-hmm.
that means they're complacent.
Yeah.
So
So
justification for player player punishment.
so ending like the last session with the unfortunates, they met noble lady Naomi, and she was like, person was like, you brought death to my people, and they were like blaming her. I was like, actually, it's your fault. Actually, we didn't do anything wrong. Actually, we should kill you instead. Like 100% just being like terrible representing themselves in that court. Like they were proven like they were innocent. I'm like, okay, this person doesn't work for the black market. Understandable. However, you are all guilty, like killing my people. And it's like, nuh like I'm a noble lady in another land. You would cause wars like motherfucker. We just beat your country before. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Like we're not scared of them. Like, oh no,
It's
mega corporations are gonna be beating on a newly founded empire that just whipped their asses and like two other nations' asses at the same time. They're not scared of you.
that's how Isaac constantly felt. Like Buddy is going on like threatening major deities and they're just thinking like, um You do realize we could accidentally kill you if we sneezed wrong, right?
I feel like it depends on like your deity. If it's like a god of war, 100% smite them immediately. I feel like it depends on like the god itself and how they're being
Oh,
insulted. In my
yeah,
opinion.
that's recently. I don't know if it was you or someone else.
Mhm.
Someone asked me. It's like if you go up to each of the Omni kids and demanded a fight, how would they respond? Akil might humor you. He might just ignore you. Amin would turn it into a training session and she would start teaching you how to be a better fighter. Like it would start as an actual sparring match, but then she would start critiquing your technique and telling you exactly how you can improve.
Mhm.
Because she is like the goddess of like training and combat and stuff, so
Mhm.
stands to reason. Aline would probably laugh, start a live stream up on one of her many, many devices, and says, "Hey guys, look, this little mortal man wants to fight. OMG, can you believe that?" And take 100 points bullying damage.
So I want to pull up the one player Ruben because he did like he recorded it like the sessions and he put it up on his YouTube channel. If I had to guess, I feel like he wasn't the one who liked it that I was live streaming it because he might have taken it like the wrong way of like I'm this is not my there we go.
Meanwhile, I caught a cat. I caught my kitty. She was trying to attack me, but I caught her instead.
And just like he did like he had my friend to Addy like do thumbnails and everything for him. And I want to show you like all these thumbnails that was created. I I don't want to throw him under the bus. I do desperately feel like he was trying to have a certain character noticed more than the others.
Yeah.
See, where the
What?
fuck is Google? Do I need to keep that set up for you to capture it?
Isaac would do that all the time. Like he would try to be like, "Oh, I saw that. Oh no, I saw that. I saw that.
Not in that way,
I
but like
I know all these things. I am aware of everything, and you can't hide anything from me." And I'm like, "No, your character does not know about this."
so.
He was an extremely frustrated player, by the way.
Let me pull up when we first started it. Okay, here we go. So
I am very blind, so I'm just gonna assume like a majority of those have like googly eyes because I
oh,
am blind.
so I'll try to hover over it. Just look for like anything with unfortunates if you can. The one with my arrows underneath right now, that's the first one.
Yeah.
Set at one. Third one. Fourth session. Fifth session. Sixth session. Seventh session. Can you like are you noticing a recurring character in these thumbnails?
Ribbit.
Yeah. That was his character. And
Side note, carrots actually taste pretty good if you prepare them right.
looking back to it, I like 100% like took D&D like oh we need to be like Legends of Adventurous like that type of stuff because that's all he knew about D&D. Like okay, awesome, sweet. I get it. You know, Legends of Adventurous is a good like D&D thing. I won't deny that. But how they do but if we're going to compare them to Critical Role, Critical Role has memorable characters in any campaign they have. I feel like that can be like established well. And,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I haven't really watched any other like D&D stuff. I know some people's characters,
mhm.
but I can never watch a D&D stream like fully
Same.
because I get bored and then or inspired to like I get inspired from something in a session. I'm like, I have inspiration.
When I listen to one,
Right.
I want to just play it instead.
Exactly. That's what I feel.
The only time I'll listen to one is if it's my own, and that is to make notes of what has happened in that session.
Yeah, that's the only reason I wanted to start recording my sessions, but I
I
just don't.
I would advise to like I would definitely say like you should not to like put up anyway, just for yourself, so you can always remember what you said, what you did, who did
What
what.
players never they
Mhm.
don't.
Yeah,
Because note taking is really hard for me.
same. I'm a very
Like
slow
extremely.
thinker.
I feel like I can't take notes ever. Like I started to at the beginnings of the sessions, but then I just stopped because it it was time consuming and I had to focus on what I was saying in the notes and taking precious time from the session.
Hmm.
By the way, one of my players DM'd me
Hmm.
like earlier today.
Yeah.
Actually, it was yesterday at 4:17 a.m. Huh.
Oh wow.
And I still can't decide for an answer. So basically, Bruno,
Hmm.
his father was in the war on the bad side.
Okay.
He's asking like what does Bruno know about his father? Because I didn't give Bruno's character a very in-depth backstory like I did with the other two because Bruno is like the newest player. Well, they're not the newest player, but I haven't known them long enough. With Void and Sky, they basically flat out told me that they trust me completely with their characters and I can pretty much do whatever I want with them
Hmm.
and no tasty backsies.
Oh my god.
But Bruno hasn't. Bruno's a lot more skeptical, more cautious and careful. Drat, haven't gotten them to sign over their soul yet. But that's why I'm like cautious with his character. I really want his character to be more important to the story. The justification that his character currently has is he's after money. He wants to live a noble life. But when Jonah questions him about this, it's clear that Bruno has like a very muddied like view because Jonah basically said, "Okay, so you hate nobilities, like you think all nobles are bad, all royals are bad, all of that,
Hmm.
but then you yourself say that if you become a noble and you get money and you get wealth, that you will also treat peasants the same way, which doesn't make you very appealing."
Hmm.
With Bruno, he's slowly becoming like he just doesn't want to admit that he cares about the rest of the party. He's just he's in a stubborn arc.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we're gonna get him out of it. But as for his father, I'm thinking, what if and Sky, I know if you're watching this stream later on, don't no spoiling it to Bruno. This is bad. Bad Sky.
How dare you,
Don't.
Sky? Get out of here.
I'll
Get,
get the spray bottle.
get, get, you little gremlin. Get.
I'll get the spray bottle. So I know they actually befriended a gremlin in one of the sessions,
Oh.
and now that gremlin is following them around. It's now a member of the party. What is my life?
Oh
And now
my.
I have to do gremlin chants every single session
Of
because
course.
they don't speak English. They speak floof gremlin,
Hmm.
which is what they are. Like they're not just any gremlin; they're a floof gremlin, a species of gremlin roughly based off of a chinchilla.
Hmm.
Because I love chinchillas. But anyway, for Bruno's father, I'm thinking, what if, because Bruno doesn't know what happened to his father,
Hmm.
he just knows he was on the bad side of the war.
Yes.
What if he doesn't know if his father's alive or dead,
Hmm.
and he secretly resents that about his father? So there's gonna be a whole like quest line just like, is Bruno's father alive or dead?
Hmm.
And I kind of want the outcome to be he's alive, but an Engion,
Oh,
basically hell.
okay.
So that'd be an interesting for me because yay, I get to talk about the Achilleans more, and I'm not biased at all. I don't have a favorite child.
That.
I don't have a favorite at all.
Oh, okay. So
No.
speaking of old player Ruben, he.
Also, by the way, every single
Hmm?
time you say Reuben, I immediately think of a pig.
Of course you do. Again, this is not me trying to like bash Sims. Like I'm not trying to do that. So I'm sorry if this comes across to both you and everyone who's listening right now. So
I will take my Reuben cooked medium rare.
so he he put like way too much emphasis like making D&D and like into a content creation more than he should have 100%. To it feels like the point like that's all he kind of cared about for a while because he would always upload it and he would like try to find clips and whatnot. I would send him clips of what I grade because she saw it like only that way. It's like, oh, we're doing numbers, folks. We're getting tons of views. Like we can't do this. And when I pitched like ideas for another campaign that happened years after like Rise of the South Titans, he wasn't a fan of it because like, well, I still wanted to play Wooples. Like I get that, but I'm not that DM first and foremost. And he's now going to DM his own campaign, and I hope it goes well for him. I don't think it will with how he's how do I word this? As a person who graduated with game design, it sounds like all he's doing with it is he's making it not into a tabletop RPG game with other players, like a game with other players. He's making a game for himself. It how do I because like he's like doing beta testing, like because he can't use those beta testers. He has to find a new group to get like all these sock values and stuff. It's like okay,
Are you making a D&D game or are you making an actual game?
that's what it sounds like when he talks about it because he put him on the video apologizing for like not putting up any new videos because you guys aren't seeming to like it and whatnot. And I want to like slap him across the face. Like you have like my my streams aren't like always consistent, like inconsistent. Like some people might want to jump in for like one Digimon stream, they might not want to bump in for the next one, yada yada yada. And my soul links with you guys. One time it's gonna be a lot of people, the other time it won't be. That's just content creation, baby. Like
I don't even know how many people are on the stream currently. How
I
many people are listening to the podcast?
just us yapping. I think it's right now it's two plus lurkers, but um Twitch doesn't like count lurkers for some reason. I think that's a little BS in my opinion, but we're not getting into that. But
Attention, all lurkers.
you're
I
beautiful.
see you.
You're beautiful too.
You matter. We enjoy your company.
We do. We very
Your
much.
ghostly company.
But
In my mind, lurkers are like little chibi little ghosts floating around. Will they engage or will they not? They haven't decided yet.
um,
Ooh.
but like you need to constantly pump out the same stuff. Like if you're gonna do a series, try to finish like beginning to end. I'm not good at that. Like I dropped Fallout because I was not a big Fallout person. I dropped Goblin Stone because Goblin Stone wasn't my cup of tea. I like it. I love the concept. It's not something I'm gonna be doing a lot though. Like Monster Hunter, I'm keeping doing that because I enjoy playing the game right now. The Digimon one, I keep doing it because I enjoy playing the game. So forth and so forth. If you want to do like if you want to try to get as much views as you can, you gotta be consistent with it. And I don't think he understands that. It's like, oh, people don't like my raft gameplay. I gotta find something else. drops wrath completely, looks at his games like,
Yeah,
oh,
you're
that
never
too.
gonna build an audience like that. I mean, I know nothing about streaming, but I know about consumerism.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't stream. He puts it all on YouTube because he
Eh,
tried streaming, but I think he wasn't a fan of it either.
I liked streaming because even when I'm just playing a game like on my own and I'm not streaming at all, I pretend that I'm streaming because I talk to myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was younger, I thought, hey, people find me entertaining. They like listening to me talk. So
Yeah.
why not just stream and do that? But at the same time, I don't have a gaming PC. I have a laptop, an Xbox, and mobile games. And while I could probably stream the mobile games, I did for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I started streaming the game Nexomon.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I particularly thought I was gonna make a big like splash, like I'm suddenly gonna be a viral streamer.
Yeah.
No. And no. But I don't know. I just kinda wanted to try. And then I guess I would start streaming again if several people ordered me to, because that's typically how it works. If I'm not ordered to do something, I won't do it.
That's fair. I feel like that's the same case with my friend, with my streamer friends. She won't stream much unless like I ruthlessly bully her to do it. But she can't right now because she's moving and everything. This is fair.
So I guess what I'm saying is, if people want me to stream, if people want to listen to me play a game, or something, you gotta ask.
Hey, you did good at keeping my chat entertained when I was struggling in the bathroom and then forgot to unmute myself on your guys' end.
It's funny. I was like talking to the chat, and like I don't know how to keep you all entertained. Here's a random topic that I just made up, and take it.
The fact is, like, I don't know how to keep this chat entertained. When is he coming back? It's like, I bend back. Oh, am I muted?
I'm like, I was devastated when you said you were muted because that means I spent that all that time ranting to myself
Hey, Sky
just for
was
the person
there.
to just yeah. But Sky is our subway surfer. They're they.
We're the Minecraft store. We're the weird, creepy Reddit story. They're the content you stay for.
Oh, I miss Sky. I really hope that they're okay. I mean, they
Same.
went to go clean. Like we were supposed to do a Pokemon stream tonight, but that did not happen because
I the night's
I
still
don't know.
young, but and I try like I explained to Ruben in one on one. Like if we're gonna do that, we need memorable moments, basically clips that I can get sent to you, so you put on YouTube. I put on TikTok because that's how a lot of people find content creators. I feel like these days is these short videos, and then they progress into longer ones with them.
Listen, that's how I. So my history with YouTube is I started watching Stampy because my friend showed me Stampy and I became obsessed. I started watching Dan and I slowly evolved into watching Markiplier
Mm-hmm.
and Jacksepticeye.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally I would watch PewDiePie, but mainly I was a Mark and Jack person.
Oh, PewDiePie is such a weird thing. Like,
Yeah, he's funny, but it's I like him when he's in other people's stuff.
mm-hmm.
Weirdly enough, I watched one of Sea Dog's crane videos
Mm-hmm.
with Felix, and it was one of the funniest crane videos they've made. The other one was with Chris.
Yeah.
Those two. If you have never watched Sea Dog's content, I would watch those two videos. The Felix one and the Chris. Watch the Chris one first, and then watch the Felix one. It's like they're two polar opposites. And it's I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're
But
fine.
as for like Minecraft YouTubers, ah,
I don't.
I will admit I did watch the Dream SMP casually. And by casually I mean I
Cancel
would
you.
just watch the lore updates to kind of understand what was going on, and then I would watch the streams thinking, "Oh my gosh, these people are like pretending to play characters, but in reality they're just acting like how they actually are.
Oh
They're
my
just
god,
ripping off their masks."
I saw
Because
that. Yeah.
listen, the way Wilbur acted, I'm sorry, Wilbur jump scares. Sorry, chat.
I'm not.
Forgot to put the sorry to put the trigger warning. But Wilbur's character was a narcissistic power on a power trip who was abusive towards everyone.
Hmm.
Emotionally manipulates Tommy the entire time. Wow, lo and behold, look who Wilbur actually is.
Yeah.
An emotionally abusive narcissist who is actually also just abusive. Dream.
Dream his own can of
Honestly,
worms.
Dream is his own can of worms. I don't think he is as horrible as person as people make him out to be.
Yeah, but
Do
he's
I think he's a good
ugly.
person? No, no, I don't. He is not the p word because people just don't understand what the p word means anymore.
Well, didn't he have like allegations, but they were proven to be false though?
Yeah, he proves them to be false. People wouldn't watch that video, so they still claim he is, but he proved them to be false. The way he is a problematic person is he has control issues.
Yeah, he's
He
too
has
bad.
to be in control of everything. And I understand that. I know what that's like. He basically started the Dream SMP and brought all these content creators together, which did actually make them a lot bigger. However, he shouldn't have taken credit for everything that they did. He shouldn't have taken credit for their growth. Yeah, take credit for the Dream SMP. It was your idea. That it was your idea. You were allowed to take credit of something that was objectively your idea.
Yeah.
But to credit all of their successes to just you, no. The success of Dream SMP was because of all the effort that people put in.
Oh, yo.
Hours of people streaming on that server. But
So
in the end, Dream's own ego destroys him.
yeah. So getting off of the weird Minecraft like streamers, like content creators, because
Yeah,
that's like a weird
quickly,
rabbit hole of just terrible people
yeah,
nine times out of 10.
I'll just the way I got into back into Minecraft again is from seeing clips of people doing these really cool roleplay servers on like TikTok and stuff. That's how I would get into them. That's how I also get into the majority of animes that I get into.
Of
I will
course.
see an edit of the anime, and think, "Oh wow, that looks cool. I'm gonna go watch that anime now."
Then you find out it's garbage because the edit was
Only to
just
find out,
that
yes.
good.
Listen, I think that some people are overly critical of certain anime. Then there are others that are completely justified. Like we all agree that The Promised Neverland had one season only.
I I like
Did
solo
not have a second
leveling.
season.
I do want it to lose game like anime of the year though, because its fans are like so like this is the best thing ever. It's like it's okay. The story
I
is
love Apothecary
okay.
Diaries. I love Apothecary Diaries. Don't get me wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not for everyone, and I acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's some people who just don't understand the culture at the time because it's based in the past.
Yeah.
It's all these modern terms. You can't bring modern morality towards something that's set in the past. Like
Mm-hmm.
this Mao Mao's age. She's 19,
That's who was
and
17.
so is Jinxi. But Mao Mao poisoned herself, which stunted her development. The writer confirms this.
Oh.
That is why she looks like a child. She is not a child. A lot of the characters look like a child, but that is because
And
of the anime style. They just all look like children. They're not children.
East I feel like Eastern culture really likes when women look younger than they do. And I know
Yeah,
that for a
and
fact because of like I was
it
into
is.
wrestling and you can see that with like the women's like Japan's women's wrestling division, like if they look younger, they have like tons of fans.
It Asia has a lot of cultural differences,
Hmm.
but the beauty standard in a lot of Asian countries is very different and very strict.
Hmm.
And I don't feel like I have the right
Oh
because
yeah, we're not educated enough in that department.
I'm not. I have researched their history, their cultures extensively, but even then, I still don't feel like I have the right to judge, the right to criticize what they deem as beautiful.
Hmm. I will
And I
judge
just,
people who like a very underrated character and say like, oh yeah, that's my waifu, knowing they're a grown ass adult. If you're a child and you say that's your waifu, perfect. If you're a grown man and that character's underage and you call them your waifu, I'm going to call you the P word. No questions
yeah,
asked. Like,
for, and
what?
it's also a gray area when, as a writer, there is this weird area where, right now, in one of my series, one of the love interests is 17 and the other is 19.
Mm-hmm.
They're a couple,
Yeah.
but people would still call that problematic because one's technically a minor.
19 and 17 range is like the weird age, like that weird age
It's,
difference, in my opinion.
it's a weird age gap. Yes.
18 and 17 is like, okay, that's understandable. 19 and 17, that's a little that's like your weird, like, born, like, this could be okay, this could not be okay.
But
20
the
and
entire point
17,
is their relationship. If like people read into their relationship, in no way do I ever frame it as a good, healthy relationship.
mhm.
No. They are basically two human, pretty much still children who have gods that are contained inside of them, and those gods are in a relationship. Those gods are basically married. So they are basically forcing these two children into a relationship, a very clingy, dependent relationship
Oh,
against these kids' will.
this
That
just,
is what is happening.
this just seems like Aphrodite is like stories in Greek mythology at this point.
Exactly. That it's not supposed to be healthy. It is supposed to be problematic and a scary situation for all these characters. Because, spoiler alert, if one of those love interests die, everyone around them might get killed in the aftermath.
I feel like you should lead on, like, it's a problematic relationship first.
Yeah, and I do. The relationship starts with one kidnapping the other.
There you go, lead with
End of
that.
story. End of story. One kidnaps the other
But speaking
and
of
then keeps them hostage on their boat. End of story. Not a healthy relationship. Don't kidnap your partner.
like, people feel like you need to um be sympathetic to, and like in my case anyway. So there was a person who got ousted using AI art. They're no longer being a content creator. They're no longer an artist. Like, they left the internet, thankfully. And I was told by like someone like, they helped you grow and everything. You need to like stand with them. It's like, no,
No, you
no.
don't.
Like, if that was the case, I would have been canceled with Frozen because he ousted himself out as a pedophile.
Ugh.
Like, I do mean
See,
that. Like, he told a person of underage they would be like, they should make an OnlyFans.
I find I think there's also a difference between thinking a child's cute, thinking they're gonna be very pretty when they grow up, to thinking they're pretty right now and I am attracted to them.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think kids. I can see like when kids are gonna grow up to be conventionally attractive. That I can see. Do I see it often? No, because I honestly don't think many kids are pretty
Kids are ugly.
or cute, especially babies. I don't understand why people find babies adorable.
I don't know.
They're piles of flesh.
We all are.
Babies specifically, they're. they're piles of flesh that can't do anything other than cry, and it's annoying.
But it is weird. Like people try to like tell you like they helped you out. Like you gotta respect them. You gotta help them out. It's like
Like you're
no,
obligated to help them.
like no. My journey of where I am today is my own. I don't have to thank anybody for that.
I I will admit that I did like before like all the problematic stuff about AI art came out. I would use AI art, but not like to pass it off as my own art. I would use it to get ideas for things. Like I would type in the AI generator ideas for the city and how I want it to look
Mm-hmm.
in order to get an idea what it could possibly look like so I could describe it in
Yeah.
a better way. Or I would use it to make fun of the very horrific abominations
Oh, they
that would come out of it. Because
every
I'm like that.
every AI art I've seen has always been like a terrible abomination that should have never seen the light of day.
Especially if it's human. With locations, yeah, they can actually turn out pretty cool. I have some that I could show you
I
that I used in my last campaign to basically say, this is basically what this location looks like.
yeah. I so I know one of my old players did that with like their stuff, and it looked just terrible. Probably because he was trying to put more sci-fi in it than he should have. But hold the fuck up, did he like AI these badges too? That'd been hilarious. But it's like the insides just looked so terrible in my opinion.
Yeah. Here are some of my favorites that I think actually look pretty cool.
Here's all of that.
Mm.
They just did not look good to me. I might also just remove him from my server because he's not a player anymore, and I've been meaning to remove
Here,
D&D
here are
server.
5. I send them to you directly.
I was too lazy to find our DMs. They're okay.
Yeah, they're not like perfect. And again, I didn't use these as like, yeah, these are my art. I drew these. No, it's more of a okay, AI. Tell me like based on the description I'm giving you, tell me what this location could look like so I can build off of it and actually create its own unique thing that's not AI.
Hmm.
Because it for me, it's hard to think of like what locations would look
Fair.
like actually visually.
Hmm.
Because I can describe things, but after that, I'm like, yeah, but what would that actually physically look like?
Okay, so the one thing I really hate, like D&D and AIR, is people use AI art for their characters, and their excuse being like, it's just so hard to find like the right picture for them. It's like, and I don't have money to do commissions. It's like, just just steal a picture off the internet, and you just
Yeah,
build off of that.
that's what a lot of my my experience with players
Or
they
if you
do.
can't get a picture, don't use one.
Meanwhile, me, it's I actually hand draw all of my concept sketches for my characters.
It's just wild to me on like like this like whole set and whatnot. It's wild. It's just weird. Oh, one of my
I
players just finally left from working. Now we can talk about my own campaign.
I find that for art, I was terrible at art.
Hmm.
For some reason, I couldn't get my hand to do what my brain wanted.
Hmm.
So I, at one point, tried to watch art tutorials, like how to draw. Still sucked at it because for some reason, again, I couldn't get my hands to do what they were doing. But eventually, just like when I was trying to master the art of chopsticks, suddenly it clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I was able to do what I'm doing now. And yes, when I first started trying to draw animals, the best tutorials did come from furry artists.
That's because they know what they're doing.
It's because they know what they're doing. I won't deny, I do like drawing anthropomorphic animals. They're just silly. They're fun.
They are.
You can have like very vibrant colors with them. Do I think they're attractive? No.
Says the duck.
No.
Now, now I know
I
why you're a
don't.
duck. You're furry.
Well, yes. I have admitted before that, yeah, I kind of am in the furry fandom.
Oh.
But
Well, time to
Cora,
yell at you.
Cora, the character in my profile pic, she's not just a duck, she's human. She can just turn into a duck.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
okay.
She's just she's just a shapeshifter. But like this is just like a chibi version of her duck. I mean, I give all my characters animal counterparts
Mm-hmm.
because I, regardless of furriness or whatever, I just really love animals.
Fair.
So giving my characters like animal counterparts just helps me explore their character in a more like
Yeah.
toned down way. Also, it allows me to splatter them with color and not feel remorse.
I don't know why animals made me think of I need to work on angels in my world too.
Well, angels do have bird wings, so
Kind of.
I know it's technically angel wings, but let's be honest, they're bird wings.
Okay, you pretentious furry. The 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 only good concept I have though for an angel is like just the Grim Reaper is an angel. Like, yo, I'm here to take you to an afterlife. What you do, like whatever they do to you, once I drop you off, is no longer my concern. I'm just there to deliver you.
Yeah, basically, the the afterlife like transport is there's really just the ambulance. Like the moment you go into the doors of the hospital, the EMTs you're no longer their problem. You're no longer their issue.
If they had to take a corpse somewhere, that's a later then problem.
Yeah, that's a later than problem. For me, I have my main death god, who's just the goddess of death,
Mm.
and then I have the goddess of the afterlife.
Yeah.
And they all work in harmony. Or at least they should, because, I mean, last I checked, they were working in harmony. Unless one of them has decided that they no longer want to work at all, and they want to go into hibernation, like some other deities do. Not calling any deity out specifically.
Do you have trauma?
No. Yes, I do. Listen, like I said, my characters basically do whatever they want. Regardless of what I want, they just do it.
You create them though.
Yeah, I create them, and then suddenly I'm like, okay, this character is just gonna be death fodder. Like, this character's gonna die. Suddenly, wait, why are you now in the third book? Where did you come from? How did you get here? Why are you here? You were supposed to die in book one, but now you're here.
Wait a minute.
Okay, then I guess you can stay.
Wait a minute. Did I hyperfixate you to say a lie?
Did I unintentionally keep you alive even though I meant to kill you? And in other characters, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep them alive. They're gonna be alive for forever and ever. Dies.
Okay,
How?
George R.
Why?
R. Martin killing off random characters and keeping some alive.
As for like the romantic attractions, honestly, sometimes I just spin a wheel to decide what sexuality the character is. Other
Spin
times,
that wheel.
other times, like I did not intend for some characters to end up gay or lesbian or queer in any way or in even any relationship whatever.
Mhm.
But somehow, they start forming chemistry with another character, and suddenly, I can already hear the beta readers like screaming at me, make them a couple, or we will revolt.
Okay, My
And
Hero
I'm like,
Academia.
oh my gosh, is this what? Am I being pressured to make sure a gay ship sails? I am being pressured to make sure a gay ship sails. Help!
Nah, you do it yourself.
Help! Help me!
Nah, you'll be fine.
Listen. I feel like I have a lot of gay characters, and I admit it, and I don't know how they all ended up that way. It just is what happened, and I like the Achilleans. I don't know what possessed me to make them this way, but so Achilleans are purely gay. So women will always be with women, and men will always be with men. Their
Okay.
god Achille is arrow ace. So how? How? I don't know. But now it's lore, I guess. I guess it's lore now. Other characters I very much intended for them to be gay.
Yo, hold up. A giant riding a woolly mammoth actually sounds cool.
Wait, what?
I was looking at a giant artwork for my like my homebrew world, and I saw a giant riding a woolly mammoth.
Oh yeah, mounts are fun. Mounts are always entertaining. Cause so in the last couple of sessions, um they adopted a giant hyena, giant alpha hyena, whatever.
Okay.
And Void basically said, "If you kill this dog, I will hurt you." And I'm like, "Okay, I will not kill the dog. I will not kill the dog."
But I can't make any promises. You guys will.
They have not. They are not seeing the loophole quite yet. I said I wouldn't kill it.
You're gonna hurt it, aren't you?
Oh, unbelievably.
Wow, that sounds pretty toxic. Hurting an animal.
Listen, listen. If my players form an emotional connection to something, I take advantage of it. Will I ever kill the dog? No, because I don't cross that line. I value animals' lives more than I value humans' lives. But that doesn't mean I won't use the dog as motivation.
Kidnap the dog.
No, that's Sky's character's job. Getting kidnapped is their job.
Kidnap both.
I could put Sky and the dog in two separate like pods, put them over lava, and have players choose one. Choose one to save and one to be dropped in the volcano.
I feel like they would immediately turn on Sky's character. And Sky
Yes,
would
they
not be
would.
even be upset.
No, Sky would also probably be agreeing to to drop them, save the dog. It's not even a dog; it's a hyena.
Quick before the hyenas come.
But Bruno has beef with the floof gremlin.
Of course.
The floof gremlin's name is Elic,
Mm-hmm.
and they're supposed to be a hunter.
Yeah.
So I have two other canonical floof gremlin characters,
Yeah.
Hedrick and Haida. Haida wants to be a warrior, but he's a child, so he's bad at it. He basically has like pillows tied to his body and a upside down bucket as his helmet. Yeah. Meanwhile, Hedrick is trying to form an army. He has a very extensive army. He has all branches of the army.
Mm-hmm.
he he has he has a navy of goldfish. He has an air force of parakeets,
I don't even want to. I'm not. I can't even
an
understand
army
your world anymore. It's just
an
so weird.
army of guinea pigs, the special task force ferrets, the National Guard of ducklings. He has it all. He has an army. It's just with a bunch of small animals that are typically pets. So imagine this. Floof gremlins are basically chinchillas. Like they're humanoid, kind of.
Mhm.
Like they have like more piggish noses. They have large ears. They have the chinchilla fur and the chinchilla bushy tail, and they can jump pretty high. So this 3 foot tall chinchilla looking gremlin guy with an army of small animals.
You are a
Uh
strange one.
Now, does Hedrick have any lore significance? No. Is Hedrick just a silly little character that I made up for the sake of having a character with a small animal army? Yes.
I can tell.
I just wanted a silly little gremlin character with an army of pets. But not even ferocious pets. Little harmless little pets. I mean ferrets can do some damage. I've been bitten by a ferret before.
Of course you
Was
have.
I phased? No, but
Well,
so the story of it is actually kind of funny. So I was at a pet store
mhm.
and they had the ferrets in an open container so like people could reach down and pet them. They had it with all the rodents. Do I condone this pet store? Not really, because why would you have the ferrets in an open container? Because and my point was made when a mother and their small child came by and they started poking their hands into the ferret pen. The
Um,
small child poking their hands in the ferret pen. And I look at the mother and I'm like, just chatting casually about ferrets, and then I mentioned that they are related to weasels and mongooses.
I mean,
And basically say, yeah, they kill snakes. And she's just like, oh! And right on cue, one of the ferrets jumps up and latches itself onto my elbow. Blood drawn things. And I just calmly reach over, pinch the ferret's jaw so it releases, blood like dripping down from my elbow, and I look her dead in the eyes and says, yeah. She immediately like scoops up her child and like runs away. Pretty much. Takes her child to the more harmless bunny rabbits. The ferret still got scritched, but point was made. Parents, don't let your kids handle the bite me noodles.
that was the same reason my an exotic pet store had a crocodile you could feed for like $5.
Crocodile or alligator?
Yeah, it was like I can't remember.
Because crocodiles tend to be depending on the type. Like a saltwater crocodile, yeah, no. It definitely was not that. Those are huge, and they have actively been known to eat and kill humans.
They eat anything that moves. That's how they're all still alive.
They're chompers.
No,
But
there was like a
alligators,
baby like there was
alligators
a
can
baby crocodile or alligator though.
probably a baby alligator, but because they're more agreeable. I have held baby alligators and slowly becoming adult alligators. They're chill for the most part.
I would love to hold a saltwater crocodile, but I know I would die in the process.
Well, you can't because they're much bigger than you are,
I know,
and
but
they weigh tons. You can hold a baby though. You could probably hold a baby. I mean, the mom would kill you, but
I mean,
forfeit.
as long as the mom doesn't know and the mouth is shut, I should be fine.
So, saltwater crocodiles will carry their young in their mouths. So you'll just see the little tail sticking out of the mother's teeth. Like, excuse me, ma'am, you need to floss better. You got some little tail sticking out from your teeth. Seriously, even the most terrifying animals on our planet still somehow find a way to be adorable.
Or like, oh yeah, like orcas. They're fucking menaces to anything.
Orcas are psychopaths. Dolphins are psychopaths.
Sharks are surprisingly very calm.
Yeah. Yeah, I bit a shark once.
You bit one?
Yes, I bit.
Why?
I bit it.
Well, minus the fact you're probably on the spectrum, but why?
I am on the spectrum. Congrats, you got it. But
I couldn't
so
tell.
I was a kid, and we used to go to the British Virgin Islands, the
Mhm,
BVI, pretty much every summer because my grandparents owned a boat out there.
mhm.
I know, rich kid privileges.
Wow,
Um,
must be nice to like be the top 1%. Having a private
listen,
boat.
my grandparents had the private boat. I was actually kind of sometimes an unwilling participant. Don't think my grandparents are good people because they decided to
They had a
allow us to
private
be on.
boat. They did not. They were not nice people. I could tell.
They are. There's a reason why I do not speak to them anymore.
If you have a boat, you're not a nice person. Why would you waste that much money on something that will never hold its value as soon as you leave that parking lot?
Oh, it wasn't that kind of boat. It was a houseboat, meaning 4 bedrooms,
My point still
kitchen.
stands. Like,
Yeah,
boats do not keep their value as soon as you leave that parking lot.
I'd say because I pretty much would spend a month of my summer living on one.
Mhm.
Boat people, yeah, there's a difference between like there's a different sides. Like they're either really chill people and really fun, or they're
The worst
jerks.
person you've ever met in your life. But back to
Like we
sharks.
were American tourists there.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the locals were more interested in my sister because she has blonde hair. If you know, you know.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
She does not have blue eyes, but
Oh,
she has the very nice blonde hair, and the locals would make every excuse to touch her hair because culturally, you don't see many blonde hair people.
fair. Weird they didn't
So
care about consent, but
really,
weird. Oh,
yeah.
fair.
So in different nations, if you have blonde hair, just know that people might want to like, sometimes touch your hair because you're cool, you're interesting to them.
That's my that's how I feel with dreadlocks. I'm gonna touch them, but I know I need consent first.
Yes, yes. But the shark story. So one time I was like 7.
Mhm.
We were at one of the islands. We were about to go eat dinner, but I see this girl shark fishing.
I feel like that's illegal in
So
other
I go over,
nations.
start watching her reel up these sharks, hit them with a stick, and kill them.
That feels so
And
illegal.
it depends on the sharks you're hunting.
Uh,
So she's not hunting those big sharks. No, she's hunting the small little reef sharks.
fair. Yeah, I figured, but it still sounds illegal though.
Yeah, a lot of sharks know you should not do that at all. But she wasn't taking them for their fins. She was just shark fishing. She's taking the entire shark.
Yeah, I feel like
So not being wasteful,
yeah.
not poaching. She was shark fishing like legally.
Mhm,
But little me comes over, and these sharks are the species name is the black tip reef shark.
mhm.
So they're on the smaller size. I can hold one in my arms perfectly fine. So my dad basically is like prompts me to ask to hold one. Me being the autistic child that is nonverbal. Yeah, at one point I was nonverbal.
I
Did not did not ask. My sister had to ask. So my sister and I are both holding the shark, and you know, I look down and I'm like, okay, this is a fish. I like fish. I am hungry. I want to eat fish. Bite.
How did the local
Bite.
feel about that?
So my sister is the only one that knows the true story
Hmm.
because they all thought I kissed the shark. But no, but my sister was close enough to see me know full on teeth on shark bite. And she's the only one that believes that I bit it. Everyone else thinks, oh no, she just kissed it. No, no, I bit it.
I know where
I
my
was,
mouth was.
I know what I was doing. I know what I was thinking in that moment. I was thinking, food, hungry, eat.
You are a duck.
I,
You're not a
I am
person. You're just a duck. You're a duck in a trench coat.
No. Why would you think that? I am not a duck in a trench coat. I'm a duck in a lab coat. Get it right.
Oh my man.
Dr. Duck. But yeah, part of the reason why they didn't my dad always claimed that I didn't like the BVI. And no, I like being on the sand. I like being on the beaches. I like being where it was warm. Water, on the other hand, not so much. Because I was a very frail child. Very frail.
Probably still
Meaning the
are.
waves could, yeah, I am, could take me very easily. And that is not a very fun thing when you are out in the middle of the ocean. Your family's all encouraging you to swim because you'll be fine. But the moment you get in the water, the boat starts drifting away because it's not the boat drifting away, it's you drifting away because you are not strong enough to fight the current.
Mm-hmm.
So what it would look like is, oh, why don't you get in the water? Why don't you get in the water? Because they were too ignorant to understand that me being in the water was extremely risky.
Yeah.
Because I can't fight the current.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't. Because, not because I can't swim, it's because I now have one leg that does not operate. And that legs are heavy.
Oh yeah.
They will drag you down.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Especially if it's
don't
like
really
one
like
of the parts that you kind of need for swimming.
yeah. I can stay afloat in a pool, but as soon as you add current in the situation, yeah, no, I'm screwed. I'm I'm not surviving.
Speaking of you,
Which is why, like, here's the reason why I don't talk to my grandparents anymore.
Mhm.
When my grandmother tried to grab the wheel of the car that my sister was driving while we were over the Potomac River,
Mhm.
that is the moment that I could have died
Oh,
because
lovely.
we go into that river. My sister might be able to get out. I will not be able to get out
Yeah.
because my sister can swim. She can swim really well.
What's a
Me,
bad idea?
I
Nash,
drown.
what are you doing here?
What was that? That's a Tyrannosaurus.
So no, I'm
This
not.
sounds bigger.
I do not like my grandparents.
Hello, Raiders. And hello,
Raiders?
Nas. Yeah, I said Nas, what are you doing here? They raided me.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if they're still here, but
Yeah, I think they're still. Hello,
Naz,
Raiders.
hi. Hi, Naz.
Hello, Raiders. My name is Dad, and I'm from the only dads you'll never need. If you like TCGs and mediocre gameplay, you are in the right place.
Yes! Let's
Mediocre. Speak for
go!
yourself.
That's my
I
aim!
thought we were
That's
doing
my
great
aim!
in
That's
our
my
Pokemon
aim! Let's
Nuzlocke.
go! Let's go!
I got screwed in the
Come on!
last Nuzlocke.
I know. I know. I was
Um,
there. Speaking of, what do you think we should try Unova next?
Nas is saying, "Hi, voice. That sounds familiar."
Don't worry, you don't remember me. Duh, duh, duh.
uh,
I'm just. Where's my memory gun?
oh
You
crap!
don't remember me.
I
Jedi mind trick.
God damn it! I gotta disable streamer mode so I can see your name. This is Nifa Zero Galaxy.
It's
That's
yeah, it's me. Hi,
yeah,
I'm alive.
yeah. They're part of my Nuzlocke thing, but we're still waiting on Sky right now, who may or may not have gotten kidnapped by dust bunnies.
Yeah, they might have. They might have. Which wouldn't be the first time because th- they are a player in my D&D campaign, and a running joke is for them to get kidnapped.
But I'm doing well with just chit chatting. How was your stream? Did you win lots and whatever raves that was?
Was it a Genshin stream?
I don't know. It's they were less bestie. I'm autistic. You look like your icon to me. yo, yo, my sentence broke me.
What is facial recognition?
The best part, the fact is that they just said bestie. I'm autistic. You look like your icon broke. Why? Why did that sentence break?
Honestly, same though. Because when I'm on Discord, really what I see is basically put your profile picture on like a popsicle stick, and like a popsicle stick puppet show is what's happening in my brain.
Yeah, that's understandable though, because that's all you normally see, and unless it's like a small group and like we show each other pictures of our faces and whatnot, that's all you will ever like think about though.
Like, like my friends are forever their usernames. Like, if that's your, no matter what your username is, that is your name now.
No matter what your
That is your name.
username is in IRL, that's your name for me.
I don't care. I don't care what your actual name is. Like Nas is Nas. That's your name now.
I don't
And it
even
will be
wait. Hasn't that,
until
you
I
changed the
don't know.
username?
I don't know if it's. I remember them as Nas, so they're Nas.
Ooh, it was good. Played some events in Honkai Star Rail, then popped into Wuthering Waves, didn't get the 5-star in Wah,
Yeah,
but got
I
ooh
remember
nice.
you streaming Genshin and Honkai, so I was figuring it was one of the other two, one of those two.
Ah,
So
gotcha games where you spend all your money to get good stuff. I couldn't relate. No one look at my TCG collections.
I tried so hard to get into Genshin Impact because everyone was playing it and I wanted to feel included, but I just couldn't for some reason. I just couldn't get into it.
I I've only ever heard terrible things about Genshin Impact and like how they portray people. It's like even if I
I don't know.
wanted to now, I couldn't get into it.
It's the same with a bunch of multiplayer games for me.
Mm.
I I can't play Minecraft now alone
Those types of games are
because
always better with friends, though.
it's better with friends. Phasmophobia, I need friends. Otherwise, I feel like it's not as fun. But then I like single player
Mm-hmm.
games as well because it
You need
I,
that
I
time
get
for
to do what I
yourself.
want.
Yeah.
But yeah. Currently, I have my game paused in The Sims. Don't question what I'm doing in The Sims.
It's Sims. You're
It's
doing war crimes
it's
and
Sims.
violating basic human rights. You don't play The Sims for like
Yes.
fancy. I'm gonna make my dream home. You're doing it to violate basic human rights
Well, right now I am just trying to like
or marry death.
integrate all the cults into my current Sim family. So I'm basically making them all like date and marry and have children with the occults.
Of course.
So I can have the occults in my family bloodline.
Of course.
So I think that's actually pretty normal. I mean, the story I've come up with is pretty morbid and pretty dark, but
Of,
no
of course,
one
it's
else knows
morbid
that.
and dark.
No one else know that.
I mean, minus Nas and their community, they know now.
Listen, Nas and the people that you've brought along with. I am a writer. Do you expect me to be merciful?
Yes.
No. No.
There's a
I am
difference
a
between.
writer.
It's fine that Nas don't agree with the bird.
Thank you, Nas. Thank you. I can't see chat, but
Good, keep it that way.
but look. I just like conflict in my books. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? I don't think it is.
Okay, George R.R. Martin, you're gonna kill off more main characters? And then never finish your last book?
Oh, I won't do the last part, but the other one, yeah. Oh, yeah. What is plot armor? Haven't heard of it.
The struggle. Not killing a main character. Finishing the last book.
Look. If it makes the reader have a oh my gosh moment, it needs to be done.
Huh.
It needs to be done.
Oh, apparently I reached my sub goal. Now I'm at 10 sub goals I need to have. When the fuck did this happen? 2 days ago? Oh.
Yay, sub goal!
Apparently it happened on my birthday. I don't remember that.
Yay! Well, I mean, you probably were focused on other things.
Yeah, I was focusing on hanging out with my friends and whatnot. But the thing is, it happened after I raided somebody. So that means someone subscribed to me after I raided into them. That is wild.
Anyway, so to explain, I don't know how many people we have now. To explain to all of you just kind of what's happening. We were gonna have a Pokemon Nuzlocke stream, but one of our friends
Been kidnapped by
got
Dust Bunny.
been kidnapped by the Dust Bunnies, and we are currently trying to negotiate terms of their release.
It's
It is not going well. And
the duck keeps getting sidetracked and telling different stories, and I'm just debating on if we should nuke the place.
No. Listen. Nukes are the last resort. They are the last resort.
Stop talking about lasagna then.
Look, if I bore them to death, then we win.
They seem interested though. They're not bored. They're interested. It's not working.
So you're saying I'm interesting.
What is
Listen, chat, this is not my stream, but last stream, I basically was forced to entertain chat.
I love you say last stream, like it was the last one I just had. Not the last time we all played.
last Nuzlocke stream, I should say, yeah, good point. Last Nuzlocke stream, I was basically ranting for like an hour until this one, pointing to you, fellow person in the call, realized they were muted.
On your
So
side.
that entire time I was ranting to someone I could not hear.
No, you were ranting to my chat to keep them entertained. I just came back and I forgot to tell you to stop ranting. And Sky just did that job of being the Subway surfer.
But I didn't think I was that entertaining.
Hey,
Apparently people disagree.
hey, people stayed. I think. I don't know. I didn't look at the numbers. I get depressed when I do.
Joke's on you. I can't read numbers.
I can tell you can barely count to 4.
1, 2, 3, 4,
What comes after 4?
5.
Oh. I thought we were going to do the gimmick of you can only count to 4.
Nah. So I have dyscalculia, so yeah, numbers actually are a bit of a struggle for me to read. Math was hell,
It still
but
is.
it still is. I hate math so much.
I hated it at the end too. Yeah. Calculus was pain.
See, I'm good at chemistry until it gets to the math part.
Oh, get sidetracking from like math back to like dangerous creatures that live in the ocean. Oh, hi, Miss Abigail. What you want, honey? I'm talking to a duck. How do you feel about this? Oh, it's okay. She's giving me her opinions on this. Okay. But, so I have one of my fae in my homebrew world based on an orca in a way.
Psychopath.
Yeah, she's very aggressive to people.
No, no. For an orca, this is deception. They act all sweet and kind, but then they turn around and they use you as basically the tennis ball in a tennis match.
But they're not playing tennis. They're playing. They're not using tennis rackets. They're using cannons.
Because that's what orcas do. They will use seals as
They use
like they will launch seals into the air with their tails and just bat them around until the seal dies.
Don't they do that with like great whites too?
Yes, and then they'll eat the liver of the shark and discard the rest.
I don't need the rest of this. I just wanted your
Wasteful.
liver.
Yeah, I don't actually like you. I'm just stealing your liver because I hate you.
I think blue whales like started like ganging up on them. It's like, no, you can't have the seal anymore. It's like, why not?
It
Because I
was
said
humpback
so.
whale
Oh,
that started
humpback
to do
whale.
that.
You can't have the seal. Why not? You hurt my child. I'm hurting your chances of food now.
Yeah, so humpback whales will actively like scoop up seals with their fins, put them on their back, and the orcas won't be able to do anything about.
I can just sense the orcas like you in this time, but I'll be back.
Leave that.
And the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. That weird
So there was
scene.
actually an instance where a whale did this with a um, biologist.
Mhm.
She was basically just swimming with these whales, and suddenly this whale is like trying to scoop her up with its fin, and she's like panicking. Once like she's on the back of the whale and like still freaking out, she finally gets back on the boat, only for her people to say, "There was a tiger shark circling you. The whale saved your life."
The whale's like, don't worry, small one. I am here to protect you.
Yeah, animals are awesome. I mean, some are absolute total psychopaths, but I still love them.
Oh, I love when elephants are like murderous. It's like, because you have to piss them off to make them want to like disrespect you.
Yeah, there was this one instance where I forget what the woman did, but she basically messed around and found out with an elephant.
So you got
It
what?
killed her. Then the herd of elephants invaded her funeral and crushed the coffin.
See, like, imagine having a fade that strong with an elephant. Because like they know their own strength. Like,
Yep.
oh, this is my favorite tree. I'm not gonna crush it. Oh, this is a watermelon. I'm gonna eat this now.
There is actually a torture method in um I'm pretty sure Africa and Asia where they
Probably.
train the elephant to slowly crush the person beneath them.
Oh, that would been so painful.
Also, chat, don't ask me how I know this information. Just smile and nod.
I I can only imagine if they did that
Smile and
with
nod.
hippos because those are just fucking units of mass murder.
Yeah, I call hippos genocidal water cows.
I feel like you can just call them like water warthogs, and you probably have a very still accurate description.
Genocidal water cows. I like the ring to it.
And it does a better ring to it, but like warthog, like I shouldn't say warthogs, but like hogs
Just
themselves are like
yeah.
murderous creatures.
There is a Tumblr post, and it's basically like
Yeah, I see.
a carnivore won't like actively fight you because a carnivore has much more to risk. If they get injured, they can't hunt. A predator that can't hunt is a dead predator.
Mhm.
Herbivores, they don't have that. They think that if they get caught, they will die. So they will fight with everything in them in order to protect themselves. A wild boar doesn't have a reason to kill you. It just wants you dead.
Because they're both predators and prey.
Yeah, pigs are omnivores. People tend to forget that. A pig will eat anything.
They only remember that
Anything.
when it's like, oh, we need to hide a body. It's like, first of all, using pigs to hide a body, so last century. Biohazard bags. Make sure they're no longer than 40 pounds. Don't ask me how I know this.
Yeah. It also certain like things that you can just find around your house you can actually use to genetically engineer pretty powerful acids.
I said, no, I
And this
actually
is
made
why
mustard gas one too many times.
I'm on an FBI watch list.
I actually made mustard gas at work once.
I had arson issues.
I was just stupid and I mixed chemicals one too many times, and then I learned my lesson when I got high.
I actively might have accidentally poisoned people before.
Of course you did. Okay, Mao Mao.
Look, I don't. Ironically, I not try to be like Mao Mao. Mao Mao is younger than me in like existence standards. But why is everyone comparing me to Mao Mao? I swear, I swear, I didn't do it on purpose.
That's what a
It was
guilty person would
accidental.
say. but
It's accidental.
but
But yeah.
back to the back away from this conversation, back to my Fey Orca.
Away from potential legal issues.
Back to silly D&D stuff.
back to silly little discussions of nonsensical characters.
I'm so gonna clip this later. Just like away from like legal issues, back to silly D&D. Oh, I feel like I'll do numbers on YouTube. Okay, that's a different topic though. But
Please don't make me go viral.
I make no promises.
Darn.
I think Plead the Fifth is doing well on YouTube or TikTok. I got to check real quick.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, Sky saying I plead the fifth. When you say like I am a delight to my players, right, Sky?
Right, Sky.
But like whole thing's like, at least anyway, is try and have people realize like, hey, you're not like this. Like the things you did cause like this. You're in denial, and I'm here to make you learn it. You don't get a choice. I'm making you learn it. And if you have like survivor's guilt afterwards, or you blame yourself for shit, that's not my problem anymore. I'm going to bounce as soon as you learn this is your fault, and accept what you did was your own issue. And you have whatever else new Fae or demon problems you get from after that. I'm going to make you learn one way or another. And if I have to tell you I want you dead 20 million times and how I want you to go kill yourself 500 times, I'm going to say it to your face. Like, she's like the one time I was able to roleplay her and The Rise of the Satans, my play is, oh, I should say King. I don't think anyone else kind of summed it up. It's like, oh, now we have to take care of this. At least it didn't feel like the rest of them did. One second, I gotta grab some gum real quick. My throat's bothering me.
So, chat, hi.
You don't need
Your
to
friendly
entertain chat. I'm right back.
Oh, you fell silent, so.
I saw like Discord going off like, God damn it, the bird thinks they have to entertain chat again.
Chat. Listen. I'm not good at entertaining the general public.
But
I'm not good at it.
the
Don't expect me to be good at this.
I just
I'm
had
trying
to
my
get
best.
up in my chair and then grab a piece of gum and come back. You were fine. But the one time I was able to roleplay her, she was like really hateful to like one person because he didn't like the party was working with the black market despite the fact he did work for them in some point of his life. Unknowns to him, but it's just like, man, you a motherfucking hypocrite. I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Plus he was like cursed by her because he like was I think decided that it was like he was probably like poaching in an area that she deemed as her sanctuary. So she cursed him on that part. He got his head bashed in, then thrown into the water to drown. But he had like a vendetta, so he came back as a reborn. So it was like, okay, you didn't want to fucking die after that. You know, your existence is an issue to me. Why aren't you dead? And I'm gonna have her in Wrath of Yama because depending on how one player finds out, when he finds out like, hey, you leaving the army caused like your comrades to die after you left.
Deserter.
Because he was a scout and he retired or whatnot.
Huh.
Like
Then he's retired.
Yeah.
Not his problem anymore.
Yeah, but the Fae wouldn't have seen it that way. It's like, and if he's like, well, it's not my fault. I technically retired. You dense motherfucker. Because if you leaving at the time you did, you caused your squadron to die. I'm going to make this your problem now.
Uno reverse. It's still your problem, but you're trying to make it mine.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That's
like,
my response.
I don't know like her proper thing I want her to be just yet. I'm still working out the kinks because I love her design.
Yeah, you're still workshopping her.
Yeah. Because I can send you pictures of like her original design and then her new one. But
Side note, I think you should start playing a game or something so Chad's not just staring at just our two character icons.
We're just chatting. We'll be fine.
Yeah, but I don't think Sky's gonna be able to make it tonight.
Yeah.
We'll keep trying. But I do have food downstairs apparently waiting for me.
You
So
do?
and I didn't eat dinner.
How dare
So
you?
I should probably go eat dinner.
How dare you?
Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get yelled at.
Yeah, you probably will.
By everyone who is my friend.
Yeah, you really should
Because
be taking care of yourself.
Because if I don't take care of myself, I feel like I'm going to be forced to. With baseball bats.
Indeed. How dare you leave me?
Look, I know I'm underweight. I know I'm deficient in pretty much every vitamin and like I'm definitely iron deficient because I can't eat red meat. So
Yeah.
there goes the primary source of iron.
Oh my god.
For some reason, I was deficient in sodium at one point. How? I don't know.
I'm not surprised.
Next, they're gonna tell me I'm deficient in sugar. Which, how?
Knowing you.
Everything I eat has sugar in it. If I'm deficient in sugar, something very wrong. Just saying.
Yeah. But
So here's what I think we should do. You should start playing Digimon. Digimon.
Nah, I'm playing Magic now.
Oh, Magic. Whatever. Potato. Well, not potato. Like, just do whatever you want. And I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna continue being very kind and very generous to my Sims.
No, you won't.
I gave them a pool.
Yeah, you're gonna drown them in.
No, I need them alive. What? I need them alive. How else am I supposed to genetically engineer the perfect bloodline that I want?
Oh yeah, fair.
Bye, chat.
Wait,
Next time on our Nuzlocks, hopefully we'll have all three of us and we'll actually Nuzlocke. Do we know which game we're gonna Nuzlocke?
Not yet.
No.
But we'll find something.
I'm voting Unova because I love Unova.
Basic.
I want my grass snake. Give me my grass snake.
Of course you do.
I'm not biased.
You kind of are.
I am. I am very much biased.
Oh, that's why season
Anyway.
Yeah.
Peace out, chat. Have fun. Have a great rest of the stream. And don't sue me, please.
Everyone bully her because she's leaving us. Or them. Whatever your pronouns are. Because we're respectful here.
Because we're respectful. I mean, I don't know if anyone's here. I don't know if any of them are here. There's no one here. No one here at all.
You go take care of yourself.
There's no one here. No one at all.
Bird, go eat your dinner.
Okay, I'll go.
If you still want to chat later, I'll be here still.
Okay. Farewell, chat. Crickets. Okay, I'll go now.
Get out of here. Get.
Oh my gosh, Discord's not letting me leave. Discord is not letting... I am pressing the exit button.
Get. Okay, they finally get. Awesome. Sweet. Now we're cooking. Yeah, might as well. R.I.P. Sky. They were taken too soon by the dust bunnies.
I will put an end to this misery. This is our fight to win.
There we go. Well, game audio's hella loud. I realized I had to go to Spotify and start playing.
I will return as many times as necessary.
Oh my god, my mouse. Addicted. that's why. There we go. I'm gonna try to kill that. One sec, try to kill that. Something. All tapped creatures. Okay, let's go. Not bad for me. I can still create these. Oh, yeah. Wait, don't tap me wrong. I'm not winning. There we go. Try again. I believe if I did do well. Ah. Hello. I want to. There we go. That took forever. Let me keep. Oh my, like, oh yeah, saying like proxies aren't bad. Like, I'm supposed to do my best. Gave love a friend. I can straight into Outland. Nope. If I can subscribe. Weird. Here we go. Oh, that's fine. You know, minimum size amount of damage they took. There you go. Next time, pop carrot cake, drop cards. Well, that was good. Yes, I need that. Immediately.
My blade descends.
Stop that. No, that's not that bad.
Even in this darkness, light will shine.
This actually is good for me.
So long as I am by your side, you will.
Dark card.
You will shine
Yeah.
bright, hero.
Make token of you.
I welcome all allies. We fight together. This is not the end.
No attacks that time. I don't know what they do. There's not much I can do with that.
Can't let evil win.
Oh, Squire. Actually, yeah. Yes, please. Not in the way lethal. Not fully blocked. Getting a lot of life. that. I do have enough for the transform though. Nice scoop, GG's. I am the superior person. Back to the game. Tickets from paradise. Nah. That's a sit hand, actually. Okay. Go ticket to paradise. Ah. Dang, it really sucks being that one mana. Yep, I'm never getting another land. Not in that million years. Our ancestors are picking on paradise. The police, I'm all right. We can go. I still can't pay it though. It lands. They lose tonight. Yeah. but I got blessed. Wait, that's not. Take that ass. Let's stand up. You got no talk? Can't do that for that. Fucking picking up. Yeah, I'll take some damage. No, not yet. Damn it. What do you mean, been there, done there? Okay, remember that. Sound my son. I still can't pay it though. Ooh. Really? I mean, ooh, that's a soda. Yeah, I'll just take it because everyone's impractical. Yeah. I mean, rest in peace, like, such off entire tiny bone stuff. I need to look for the water wipe. Oh. Water wipe. The land. Go. Let's see if this gets better. Probably not. They don't have enough mana for it, so that's fine for a while. And I got a big butt. Okay. Let's have a third one. Huh? Just to be safe. They had another one. One in the south. The guy in that smuggling from Mexico. Oh yeah, it's texting, bro. It's racing around. I don't even want to work here. Oh wait, I can't use my big butt because he has too much power. Which is what I really said. Absolutely. No reverse gun. Oh, my mouse. There we go. Yep. Do this. No reverse gun. Valley on TV. Kinda sucks, but they get on me though.
I am a shining blade.
I mean, he can't do anything. I might as well do something with him.
Ascend.
That's like now 18 in the air per turn. Who's gonna ban that Zal's for? They really wanted that Yoda, but they were stuck on 4 lanes. Look at what castle now. And they have that relic. Oh, clearly didn't block the heaviest thing. I don't know, get some life, I guess. There you go.
Ready arms.
Then they'll run rabbit in for a message. I win. Okay, I see what that deck was. Just tons of legendaries and zeroed up what? Bum. Up this time. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Longer. Oh. Holy shit, I didn't realize that was company. Oh, good for him. We've done sin. Oh, that's rude. Yeah. Ah, poo, they killed me. Well, let's try it. I've met so many heroes in my life. Give me the strength, courage to survive. Now it's our time to be the one to make you smile. We got. I can't keep this. That is way too risky. That's sustainable. Look at me. Oh. There we go. Oh, wow. One. Alright. Are you? I mean, all I get is land and cards. None. No blocks. Okay. Well, that's gonna be the game I'm out. Ain't gonna be doing that. Mainly because there's no way a chance of I'm winning. Now let's. Actually, I'm gonna be raiding somebody else soon, so let me get everything ready. Here's my socials. If you're not part of the Discord server, we just pull up yourself in. And here's the images if you are subbed. And here's the images if you are not subbed. So let's start the raid. Mr. Gamma, who is playing Paper Mario with Omega. So, until next time, be gay, do crime. Bye bye.